exploited. If this is not a really great sell for having a nice tight base build that blocks off your acolytes, I don't know what is. So now that he's wiped out Taker's main, what's Ghost Stop going to do? One of the things, I don't think he does it yet, but he's going to start getting Fiends because he knows the guy is massing air, like everybody that is Orc on Lost Temple is pretty much going to do at some point in the game. He hasn't started building him yet, and he's also sitting at 51 supply, which is not good. Okay, there he goes. He's actually building more wagons, and he's going to want to go try and mount an assault on that little expansion in the southwest and finish him off, but son of a bitch, he's expanded again. As an Undead player, this is like the thing that I just really, really do not like going up against. I mean, I can't blame people for doing it because it's effective, but goddamn, I hate it. Fortunately, he's got those meat wagons, so he's going to be able to try and go take it down. He is researching web at this point, which is, it ends up being actually very, very, very critical, because at this point, if 4 wyverns or so showed up, Ghost Stop's army would not be able to do anything about it. He would have to run. He'd probably lose both of his meat wagons, maybe get the destroyer killed, or, he'd have to town portal out. So, yeah, that'd be no good. When in doubt, Fiends are generally a good thing to start building against Orc, because most of the time, most Orc players know that, like, late game mass air is really a trump card for Orc players. It's very hard for Undeads to stop, especially if the Orc has, like in this game, managed to out-resource the Undead player by getting multiple expansions. Ghost Stop kind of had a little vision there of, I think his Shade actually got killed by Taker's forces in the upper right-hand corner of the map. That's definitely the sort of thing you need to watch out for. Wherever you see his army, expect, when you're seeing this kind of play from your opponent, wherever you see his army, expect to find an expansion fairly nearby in a matter of minutes. Fiends are finally coming out. He got a second crypt, which, especially once you find out that you really need the Fiends, is a good idea, because often they're going to end up dying. They'll get the web off and you'll get some kills on the wyverns, but usually if your opponent is determined to, he can pick off some of those Fiends, so you got to be prepared to replace them. Let's see, not a whole lot to say here. We're going to see that excellent base defense coming into play again. I guess there's enough towers. I'm kind of surprised. Yeah, there's enough towers here. Like, when you got 2 spirit towers going, plus the cold stuff, wyverns really drop pretty fast, so he does end up having to town portal, however. Yeah, I thought he was going to have to, because there's there was like 8 wyverns or something like that, and yeah. But he was, because he had all those towers, and like an excellent base defense in general, he was able to finish off that expansion instead of having a town portal away from it and leaving it just kind of burning. Remember I said he heard that forces are under attack, so he pretty much knows at this point that Taker is going to try and hide an expansion in the upper right hand corner, and he puts stop to that shit. He's also got ghouls patrolling the map. That's also pretty important. Ghouls and a Shade. And yeah, anytime you got like an expansion happy opponent, know that that is what they're relying on to win. So if you can find them while they're trying to set up expansions and take them down, it's kind of nerve-wracking, but you can do it. Now, look what's going on here. He can actually see at this point that Ghost Stop is trying to set up an expansion. I think he's actually going to leave that one alone for now. Oh, here's a quick little fight with between the fiends and the wyverns here. Eight wyverns is a lot, but in this case, Ghostop knew where his opponent was going, so he was able to basically beat him on position. In order for the wyverns to win, the wolves and the Farseer and stuff have to run in and kind of start tanking damage. If the wyverns are out in front and get webbed, he's going to have to TP. He kind of left his meat wagons back a little ways, which is a good idea because you really don't want to get them. You really don't want to get them picked off by enemy wyverns because they die pretty fast. All right, let's talk about his decision here. He knows Ghostop knows Taker is setting up an expansion at this point. Yet he's actually not going to go after it. Why? One of the reasons being that orc expansions set up really, really, really slow. We Undead players, I think, from our matches against human players, tend to get a little bit shell-shocked sometimes from how quickly our opponents can set up an expo. Well, Orc, unless they get one of those Great Hall in a Pocket items that like sets it up really fast but cost a whole freaking ton of money, they can't actually do that. So, just use that. Just be aware of the fact that an Orc expansion is going to take a long, long time to set up, and use it to your advantage. You know that you don't have to rush it down. You can go hit another base and just send a couple of ghouls to start whacking on it or whatever. You don't have to get in a panic about it. And as you see, Ghostop managed to turn that game around pretty impressively. So let's see, what are some of the lessons learned from this game? One of them is that if you see an opponent going for a fast upgrade, it's usually done with a Blade Master. I feel like seeing it done with a Farseer is a little bit on the rare side. It's usually done with a Blade Master. If you see your opponent like teching really fast and towering, know that you're not going to be able to get destroyers and go kill his towers and burrows with that, because he's going to get that fortification upgrade. So instead, you want to get meat wagons and assault his base with that. Also, when somebody is towering a lot, you know that their army is going to be small. So if you have a pretty good base build like the one I showed you in this replay, then you're going to be able to hold them off while still harassing them. Because one of the ways that the orc kind of tower and expand strategy works is that while they're expanding and setting up all these towers, they keep on harassing your base, so they lock you in your base. And if you have a good enough base structure, you can prevent that. That's really the only way to, I guess, quote unquote, counter their harassment. Other than that, keep in mind, like I said, that orc expansions set up pretty slowly, so you have a lot of time to scout them out. You can send a few ghouls to start hitting them and kill any peons if he tries to start building them, and slow them down even further. They don't set up nearly as quickly as like Night Elf expansions where they creep with the tree and have it all ready to go, or human expansions where they rush build it. I know a lot of people have trouble against this sort of strategy where the orc expands and towers a lot and harasses them, so I hope this game gave you an idea of how you can better deal with that sort of thing. I thought it was a pretty fun game to watch. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed this audio. I got shout-outs. That's right. People actually sent me shout-outs this time. I have them in a RTF file on my desktop. I have a shout-out from Cruel Justice, who I believe I was talking to on Battle.net. I believe even played a game with the fellow. Nice guy. And Dope Star requested a shout out for the member audio commentaries forum, that's a great shout out. If the audios on the front page aren't quite enough to satisfy you, and you're wanting a little bit more audio action, you will find some very, very high quality audio commentaries in our member audio commentaries forum. That is actually where I started doing audios. I submitted a couple of them back in 1.18 and 1.19 respectively. I believe Spearg also came up through there. it's a good place. So definitely go check that out. I think that's about all I have. I hope you guys enjoyed this audio. I think it's actually getting pretty long, and it's about the longest one I've ever done. So, go me. This is Fray, signing out.